East X Nordics release date is right around the corner on September 28th for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the Nintendo Switch. And because of that, Falcom has been releasing a lot of brand new information as system trailers. And today, not only are we going to be checking out 5 brand new features making their way into the game, we're also going to be checking out the fact that pretty much the developers are confirming more new reveals as we get closer to Tokyo Game Show, which is going to be happening right before the game set to release in late September. So Clouded Leopard Entertainment not only has provided a lot of details specifically when it comes to not just the naval combat, but also what you can actually do while you're out in the sea in this specific game. Remember that story-wise, basically you're going to be able to have access to a ship and you're going to be able to go pretty much all over the world, be able to trade with merchants, engage in naval warfare, kind of like the old Assassin's Creed games used to be able to let you do, and at the same time be able to kind of collect items and progress the story along as you're kind of like exploring the world through the ocean. Not only that, of course, you can have engagements within your ship or off the ship with plenty of different enemies, and we're going to be talking about that today. First and foremost, they introduced that the Sandras has 3 brand new mechanics. The battles at sea, where you can essentially use cannonballs to keep the Sandras free from invading greeters. This is of course basically just simple combat where you're choosing certain type of abilities to be able to have your ship be able to attack enemies off in the distance. Maybe you want to get in closer to do more damage. All of this is going to be something that you need to be able to keep in mind. You're not going to be able to kind of one-shot a ship, kind of like, you know, sink them or anything like that, but you can certainly ram into them, which is something that is going to be a really interesting mechanic to kind of finish them off and plunder those ships, because that is something you certainly can do. And that is directly connected to the naval boarding. Battles begin as soon as you board an enemy ship, triumph, and get rare items as their treasure chest. So not only do you have a 2-pronged approach. First and foremost, you kind of engage from a distance to the ship, whittle their damage down. Essentially, the ship becomes relatively weak. You don't want to sink it, and then you ram into it to be able to board it. And this is where you can essentially turn over into a brand new kind of like set and 2 engagements. Your characters will be able to fight in the same manner as if they're kind of like on the ground in the normal overworld. You're going to be able to just engage with those enemies, take them down, and then essentially get treasure chest rewards as you take down those specific enemies. Not only that, of course, the enemies will have their very own separate drops, and that is something you want to keep your eyes peeled for. At the same time, you're going to be able to trade with merchant vessels. So if you, for whatever reason, don't wish to engage with them and take over their stuff, or be able to take down those pirates over the seas, you can certainly trade with some ships. Exchange rare items for gold and materials with merchant ships sailing in Obelia Bay. So all you pretty much need to do is pretty much use your scope, be able to kind of like pick on a ship and then exchange with it. A trade board will kind of appear over the map, and then you can choose to engage with it. You can sell them items that you already obtained. Maybe if you're looking for specific rare drops that are not available to you just yet, you can buy them off from another ship. And these are all going to be items that eventually either raise value, lose value, depending on who it is that you're engaging with. So it's going to be, I presume, one of those systems that you're certainly going to be able to kind of like abuse at the end of the day and make a lot of money, which should help you along the way. Then they also mentioned the fact that there's a couple of brand new growth systems and combat encounters. This is once again done on ship when you're like engaging with enemies at the deck, or you can actually just engage with normal enemies once you're like over the field, in the grass areas, in a castle, whatever the scenario might be, as you trunk accumulate experience and automatically raise your predetermined status as you level up. So the level up system usually gives you things like, hey, you raise your strength, you raise your stamina, you raise your spirit, you raise your MP, whatever the case is. Now you can actually allocate those resources to kind of tailor characters into your very own way. And that is done through the branching skill options. You choose which statuses to increase, again, strength, MP, spirit, HP, whatever, and then which skills to acquire using skill points. So these are two separate things. You can certainly raise your stats if you want to just specifically focus on like melee combat to raise via strength, but then also you can raise your skills at the same time. Then of course you can choose any one of those skills that you've already unlocked and allocate them to your combat status board. Remember, every button, every face button is going to have a skill attack combination. You can also hold R1 or L1 depending on your controller setup to be able to kind of bring up a subset of attacks or preset skills that you can choose to kind of like engage with and go ahead and pre-equip another 4 set of skills automatically right away. So I think they're doing a relatively fantastic job providing more I want to say sub features or sub options for the game, as you're just going to be able to like not only take on the story in the typical fashion like we have expected before, but a lot of subset features are also going to be added in to kind of like make this a little bit of a meatier experience. Not only that, of course, each one of the playable characters has their own prerequisite setups and different branching paths for you to be able to set them up. Maybe you don't necessarily want to have too many melee focused characters and you just want to play more in a ranged caster setup. You can certainly try to do that. You have your strength, your break, your luck, your defense, and vitality. In typical fashion, vitality will simply raise your HP. Your strength will raise whatever damage it is that you're able to do. Break will define just how powerful those critical hits will be. Of course, your defense will simply just mean how much you can mitigate damage wise, and of course, luck is your critical bonus, whatever it is that you're going to be able to get. But it also ties in with those aforementioned random treasure chests. So there is a subsystem within the luck that you should be expecting, that if you raise your luck, and a lot of characters probably won't, a lot of people won't focus on luck, but if you do, there's a chance you're going to be able to find better rewards in any of those treasure chests that you simply were not expecting to get. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today regarding Ys X Nordics, which is set to release onto the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 on September 28th. For me personally, I'm very excited to play this game and just to be able to see just where the story is going to go. If you're brand new to my channel though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.